I'll get into the Anthony Smith thing real quick because, we like to be silly. We like to have a laugh on this podcast, but we've got to address this off the top. So obviously we're all disappointed. We were all behind Anthony in there. I thought he looked good early. The right hand was sharp. He was throwing some nice counters. Ankalaev is a formidable opponent, as we said last week, 17-1, tremendous record, long win streak, great wrestler, good striker, 6'3", Dagestani. We could go on fucking all day. I was impressed with how confident Anthony was. The right hand was looking good. He was throwing some kicks. Neither man was really getting an advantage. It was a very, very even round. And then I think he threw a kick and then rolled over, right? And then led on his back for a while. And I was like, shit, get up. But obviously didn't know that's when he injured his ankle.
Right, yeah. Ankalaev kind of bumped into him and he rolled onto his back and then he started fishing for leg locks. Hey, guess who just showed up?
Yeah. Hamish, are you sure? Are you good to go? Are we ready? Can we roll?
I'm positive. My other computer just stopped working moments before we were about to press record.
It's okay. Well, it wouldn't be the Believe in Me podcast unless there was some technical difficulty. Your microphone, are you coming through your microphone? Because you sound very hollow and tinny, and maybe it's just the way you sound. I got to say, the way you look is improving. Good for you. We were just talking about, while I fill some time, just double check your settings.
Beard.
Good.
The beard is good. Speak up. Say something.
I'm speaking. How's that sound?
Way better, Mike. You're good.
There we go. We were just talking about Anthony saying we've got to talk about this off the top before we get into any nonsense and silliness like we always do. And clearly talk about the fights that happened at the weekend. We're all gutted. We're all very, very sad for Anthony Smith. He hurt his leg in the fight. Apparently there's no fracture. That's what Dana White said at the post-fight press conference. Still haven't got an update from Anthony how he's doing. But, so many things can go wrong in a mixed martial arts fight. I thought he was looking good. Neither man was really, I was just saying to Brian a second ago, neither man was establishing any dominance, which that in itself is great because Ankalaev is such a formidable opponent. But in the words of Boris Johnson, them's the breaks. And it fucking is. It's sometimes that. Look at Tom Aspinall last week, the week before it, Brian Ortega and Yair Rodriguez. Do you know what I mean? So many injuries happen in this sport, and it's sadly a part of the game. And if anything, Anthony, if you hear this, just try and tell yourself that. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be disappointed. When you lose a fight, there's always a part of it where you think, should I have even bothered doing all that hard work, all that sacrifice? I often feel for people that if they go out there and get knocked out in the first minute, it's like, well, what did I even bother doing all that training for? Well, it's there. It's in the tank. The improvements were made. You know what I mean? So it's not completely wasted. And the reality is he wasn't beaten down. Technically it goes down as a loss, but he was fucking injured in the fight.
And it's like, there is something to be said. That first round, there was one exchange I remember quite clearly, right? Where Anthony landed first, got Ankalaev to react, to try to throw the counter. Anthony dives back out away and then comes back in for a little 1-2. And I was like, oh, he's got the timing down. He's figured out, there was something clicking where I'm like, man, Anthony Smith is going to take over this fight later on. And I don't feel like they covered any of those highlights in between round 1 and round 2. So I'm sitting there being like, man, why are they talking about this like it's the Ankalaev show? And then Anthony Smith comes out and immediately, shoots in for the takedown and just stays in close. And it's like, oh, did they know something on the broadcast? Like this is a foregone conclusion given how Anthony went back to the corner there.
Yeah, well, obviously they're all mic'd up in the corner, so maybe they heard something that we weren't privy to. But no doubt we'll get the full lowdown from Anthony on Thursday when he joins us. We've also got Sugar Sean O'Malley joining us as well, so I'm very excited for that one. But yeah, when he was on the ground, now it makes sense in hindsight that it hurt his leg. So, he was maybe trying to get Ankalaev to come down. In round 2, when he was trying to get the takedown, I understand now as well. Because at first I was like, Ankalaev's a really good wrestler. You're trying to take him down. But of course, if you've compromised your leg, it's really hard to dance around the octagon, hit angles, pivot, forward and back movement, lateral side-to-side movement. If your leg's hurting, so badly that you feel like you've broken your leg, then, number one, credit to the man for still continuing trying to fight. Of course, he had to switch to a grappling game plan, but well, fuck it. What are you going to do? We can sit here and break it down all day long. Stay positive, Anthony. There's a lot of positives to take away. Go on, Harrington.
I was going to say, he went in there in round 2 on a busted wheel with the same game plan that Paul Craig had, with weeks and weeks leading up to a fight camp. Like, he went there and went for it, being like, look, my only path to victory at this point is likely to catch Ankalaev in a leg lock. And he 100% went for it, put himself in harm's way, in danger, to still find a finish while he's out there with a busted wheel, knowing that he cannot stand and bang anymore. There is something to be said for that, certainly.
Oh, without question. I mean, everyone knows the man has tremendous heart, and he'll be back. This is what I text him, the reality is, and it's the same thing that I said to Tom Aspinall as well. You just got to look at this as a bump in the road. It's not the end of the road. It's unfortunate. You've got an injury. It slows your momentum for sure, but you can't give up on yourself. That's the number one thing. It's easy for fans online to talk shit. It's for people on message boards and forums and on Twitter. You get a lot of fair-weathered fans that talk a lot of shit. They jump on bandwagons and then they jump off them real quick. Those people don't matter. The only real person that matters more than anyone is the fighter themselves. Because once you give up on yourself, and this applies to all of life, really, once you give up on yourself, the game's up. It's over. Forget about it. Anthony, that has to be the main takeaway. Say, well, fuck it. Okay, I went in there. I hurt my leg. It's a shitty situation. You can't polish a turd. We can't all sit here and say, oh, it was fucking great. Let's look at the positives. It's fucked up. It's shit. He hurt his leg. He lost the fight. He didn't go there to lose. Of course, he's going to go away. He's going to lick his wounds, fucking drink maybe a few too many beers. Feel sorry for yourself for a day or two. That is the natural course of events. But then you get back up and you rise like the fucking lion heart that you are, because listen, I had many ups and downs throughout my career, lost an eye, lost multiple fights, number one contender fights. You lose that, you claw your way back. And eventually at 37 years old, I became the champion. Anthony Smith has every possibility, every chance in the world of doing that. So Anthony, we cannot wait for the comeback. But this pun just occurred to me. Ankalaev took out the ankle of Lionheart Smith. Ankalaev by name, Ankalaev by nature. My God, you got to watch your ankles when you're in there with Magomed.